Hi, this is Mohsen, and I welcome you on behalf of Platinum Global Solutions to our series of online interview session. We are glad to have you as a keynote speaker in the upcoming conference on Clinical Trial Summit on 25th of May 2021. Thank you so much for taking out time from your busy schedule. Before we kickstart our interview session, I would like to have a brief introduction about you, your professional career, and your area of expertise in which you are working. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, my name is Cesare Spadoni. I'm one of the founders of Oncoheroes Biosciences, which is a biotech company based in Boston, and we are focused 100% on pediatric oncology drug development. My background is in drug discovery and development. I've been working more than 20 years in this space. I'm a molecular cell biologist by training. And so I've been working in industry, in business development positions for different companies. And about 3 years ago, we funded Oncoheroes Biosciences. We're really very much active in the pediatric oncology space.
Okay, perfect. So let's move on to our first question. So tell me, what do you think about the ongoing global pandemic situation, and what's your take on the impact of the businesses worldwide?
Well, easy questions, right? I think it's a $1 million question. So clearly, the pandemic had a dramatic impact on drug development operations. Clearly, the focus of the pharma industry has shifted heavily towards COVID, developing new treatments for COVID. Things have been going forward in other areas as well. But for example, clinical trials have been impacted. Definitely, they'll be negatively affected by COVID. So we see delays in starting of trials and recruitment. So trials that we wanted to start last year, so we may be able to start them this year. So clearly there was an impact. Otherwise, there is still a lot of interest on the investor side, where there are a number of deals, going through, and we're really hopeful that we can resume our activities in full speed this year.
Great, quite thoughtful. So, according to your experience, briefly explain the current situation of the clinical trial industry, and what is your forecast related to it?
Well, again, so it depends on which areas we work in the oncology space. Clearly, we've been affected by the current situations. Otherwise, I see substantial improvements in the clinical trial industry, in the oncology space. There are more compounds, more targeted agents being developed. There are exciting new targets. We see new drug combinations being evaluated. So there's a lot of movement in the oncology space. We feel very excited about this. So I tend to be optimistic. I tend to see the glass half full. So obviously we went through a difficult year, but I expect clinical activity to resume in full force, I think before the end of the year. And so we see more and more trials being open. So I would tend to be optimistic. Again, always with the COVID situation in mind, we can see clearly that the vaccines are having an effect, and once we start vaccinating, and so things will turn for the better, I think.
Okay, wonderful. So now, as a company, what changes you have introduced in the overall operations and business strategy in these challenging times, and more importantly, how these changes are going to impact the future landscape of your company?
Yeah, well, I have to say we haven't really implemented many changes, but essentially because we are a small company, we are a startup company. We don't have yet large-scale operations. So from this point of view, we were not really affected too much. We are still pretty much a virtual company. As of now, we do not have we don't have ongoing clinical trials. So I must say, we are not really too heavily affected by the situations.
Okay, that's good. So lastly, what are you expecting from this e-conference, and what valuable insights our audience can expect from your presentation session?
Yeah, well, it's good questions. Also, because I have to work out the details of my presentation, but I think it would be more about flexibility in setting up clinical trials. And as I said at the beginning, we are involved in pediatric oncology drug development, and one area of interest is how do we have clinical trials that include both adolescents and adults. And so one way would be to allow adolescents to enter adult trial, have a more sort of flexible sort of age of entry criteria for clinical trials, instead of really setting up separate pediatric trials or trials for adolescents. We may include adolescents into adult trials, which makes a lot of sense from the medical point of view, and makes a lot of sense from the operational point of view. So I would like to give some sort of highlighting this scenario, just give a few ideas, and I'm hoping to receive feedback from the audience and hear about interesting developments in other clinical areas.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kesri, for taking out time from your busy schedule. And see you on our main event. And looking forward to for an insightful and knowledgeable session from your side. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you.
Thank you.